The Flam. Yes, this is one of my favorite rudiments. And I think that's really just because it's so unique. It's unique in the way that it sounds, unique in the way that it feels to play. Here, we're no longer limited to single or double strokes, and instead we're entering the realm of grace notes and really using those to fatten up our sound. Flams, I think, just sound awesome. Before we begin, if you enjoy free drum lessons, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. Also, this is part of my rudiment series, so if you want to learn more about the rudiments, like which ones you should practice, why you should practice them, and how to use them in your drum set playing, please check out my YouTube main page for more videos. What is a flam? Well, a flam consists of two notes, a grace note and a primary note. The grace note is an ornamental note that falls right before the primary note, and it's generally played softer, whereas the primary note is louder. Here's an example. So let's talk about what my hands are doing here. To play a right-handed flam, I'm holding my right stick up high and then my left stick down low. Then I bring them down to the drum at almost the same time. As a result, my left hand is tapping the drum and my right hand is creating a nice full-sounding stroke. Now, I'll definitely admit that I'm being a little bit vague when I say that I hold one stick up high and the other stick down low. How high or how low? But that's because there really isn't a specific height requirement that you need to adhere to when playing a flam. The distance that you hold your sticks from the drum head is up to you, and I would encourage you to play around with this distance and listen to how it sounds so you can decide what feels right to you. The position of your sticks will ultimately depend on your biomechanics and on the tempo and dynamics of the piece of music that you're playing. So for example, when I play a quiet flam, I hold my sticks down low because I don't want as much force. And when I play a louder flam, I hold my sticks up higher. When I play a fast tempo, I hold my sticks lower too, so I can get them to the drum a little bit quicker. So far, we've only been looking at a right hand only or a left hand only flam, but obviously you can play them with alternating sticking, meaning that you can play a right-handed flam followed by a left-handed flam, and so on back and forth. Here's what that looks like. One more thing I'd like to mention is that the space between the grace note and the primary note can vary. So you could play a wide spacing for your flam or a tight spacing. Either one's okay, but the appropriateness of one versus the other kind of depends on the style of music that you're playing. So, for example, if you're playing a march pattern, it might make more sense to play tight flams because that's what you traditionally hear in that kind of music. But if you're playing a groove on the drum set, you maybe consider widening your flams up simply to fatten up that sound. So how should you practice this rudiment? There's an unlimited number of ways that you can practice this rudiment, and we'll cover ideas to incorporate it into your playing in other lessons. But for now, two great ways to practice and become familiar with it are, first, practicing with a metronome at various tempos, and two, using a method called open, close, open. First, let's take a look at practicing with a metronome. This is a common way to practice anything on any instrument, and here we're simply going to set our metronome to a comfortable tempo and play along with that. Remember to practice leading with your right hand and with your left hand, and try to increase the tempo gradually as you become comfortable. Okay, next let's look at open, close, open. I've also heard this referred to as open, closed, open, or slow to fast to slow. And here we're going to begin playing at a slow tempo and try to gradually speed that up as smoothly as possible. Then when we reach our maximum tempo, at that point we'll begin to slow back down until we reach our starting tempo again. With this method, try to focus on how it feels throughout the process and increase your tempo deliberately. It's actually surprisingly easy to spin out of control as you begin speeding up, and it's totally okay if your maximum tempo isn't very fast. Just try to keep it smooth and under control. Your speed will gradually increase as you become more efficient at the movement. If you're looking to learn more about the rudiments, please check out these videos to my left. And if you have questions, please add them to the comments on this video. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this, please consider clicking that like button and subscribing to my channel. We'll see you in the next lesson.